guys are meant to be seeing. Unfortunately, does anybody know what a black box is? A black box.
So we need to get last in.
Can anybody estimate how much annually is in this black box? $0.5 billion. And every year, countries are limiting the amount of time you can claim your money. So some countries used to have 7 years, Japan used to 7 years, and now they only allow you to claim 1 year backdated. So that means some people will be losing millions. So that's a lot. So, US royalties, we're talking about maybe some people are looking, it's estimated at $424 million a month that's being lost. And nobody's is collected. So if you don't have a publisher collecting it for you, this money is being lost and it's in a black box. And the time you can collect that, Europe is 3 years now. It used to be 6. US is 3 years. You can claim. Europe is 3 years. This country knows their time. The amount of time you can claim. So I think it's important that you know that because you're going to claim royalties. The limits around the globe going down. And guess what? When you don't collect, they get to keep that. So that's $2.5 billion that disappears into a black box that they get to keep of your money, of your hard work, of your writing, of your publishing, of your producing, of your instrumentals. That nobody claims. And the time to claim that runs out. Each year it gets shorter and shorter. So 70% of that goes into unmatched recordings. So that means in the database, your name might not be registered as such. Or you could have had a publisher that wasn't registering your correct name because a misspelling of your name is not you. Just like if you went to the airport and your name was spelled wrong on your passport, you can't get on the flight. The same thing happens, and that happens 70% of the time. So that means some publishers are not doing their job well. 20% are unidentified works. So that means the stream work lacks identifiers in the songwriter as a publisher. 1 billion of that goes into published royalty that's never ever been collected. Every single year. Apple Music is 161 million uncollected, Spotify 152 million, Amazon 42 million, Google and YouTube 32 million goes uncollected. 1.3 terabytes of data. So I don't know if you guys know how big a terabyte is, but 1.3 terabytes. 9 billion lines. So you know how much songs that is, how much information that is that goes uncollected every single year, and just disappears because Japan is just 1 year. So if you didn't claim this year, by next year, you can't claim the back. So if you had a hit song 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, that one is disappearing in Japan. So another thing we wanted to speak on is who collects what. And I wish you guys could see this, and I hope the projector comes sometime soon. Is the performance royalties. So this is radio airplay, television, broadcasting, live performances, and public venues and shops. Okay? This is what we call performance royalties. We have mechanical royalties, which are physical sales, CDs, vinyls, iTunes downloads, interactive streaming, like Spotify, Apple Music, ringtones, and digital products, which comes under mechanical royalties. And if anybody wants a copy of the live show, you can leave your email address and I'll send it to you. In case the projector doesn't reach, digital data platforms like the World Network, I did in Bishop Workshop. This is what Jack Also Music delivers publishing data to. So we have 95,000 works currently registered, which is huge. It's a huge catalog. From reggae to dancehall to rock music, all genres, and we collect globally for you. So we collect global royalties. We make sure that your data is registered correctly. So your name and your work, because sometimes somebody could register it. The person in the black is called Black Sheep Music with a back. So if somebody registered his work under Black Sheep Music, which is the artist's name or the producer name, it needs to have his actual name as well. And a lot of times they will put, for example, they'll put Mavado as Mavado and not his name. And then therefore it's a mismatch, it's not claimed, or they'll have different titles on the mix. However, we make sure that yours are registered correctly. We make sure that if anybody uses your work, for example, they want to use it on YouTube or monetize off of it, that your work, your intellectual property is protected, and we go to work for you. We have so many examples of when we've done that. Because somebody just wants to get up and say they're going to sample your work without your permission not to use it on YouTube and monetize off of it. We have a content ID that tracks your work. So therefore, their page will get tracked on YouTube. Or you can choose if you want to collect from their YouTube and collect 100% off of whatever they have. Because it's your music, your songs, your intellectual property was used. So we're also making sure that we're covering you for all territories. Europe, Asia, the whole of we work with some publishers too to make sure they're collecting for you and looking out for you. So it's a global royalty collection. So performance rights organizations like PRS, BMI, and ASCAP are mechanical rights societies, ensuring the proper documentation of royalties collected. Does anybody know what the difference is between a publisher and the performance rights organization like BMI and stuff? If you could, I don't know, here maybe. You could put it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, guys, so this is pretty great, so that makes it up. Okay, that's any difference. Yes, you can tell it. Performance rights organization. Yes. Does anyone know? Right, yeah. So what's the difference? Some people say to me, okay, they'll come to me and I say that you need a publisher, and they'll say, oh, I'm a member of a performance rights organisation, and they're doing it all for me. Performance rights organisation will just collect your performance royalties in that territory. If you're a member of DECA, BMI, PRS, they will just collect your performance rights. They don't collect your mechanicals. They just collect the songs that are played on the radio or you perform live. They don't collect all the others. So if you join a PRO, the first thing we do actually is when somebody comes to join us, we ask them if they're a member of a PRO, because you need to be a member of a PRO. Absolutely, you need to be a member. That's the first thing you need to do. And a lot of publishers who sign writers won't even advise them to do that, because then the publisher can then collect your performance share. So they don't always encourage that. But the first thing I ask is, are you a member of a PRO? Because then you will get 50% directly of all your performance monies automatically. A PRO will not let a publisher collect more than 50% of the share of the money that comes in, which is good because it protects you as a writer and makes sure that you always get 50%. And what's the PRO for? A performance rights organisation. Okay. And like, what are the examples of some? PRS, BMI, JCAP. We've got some leaflets from JCAP outside because SACEM in France, Gamma in Germany, Boomer in the Netherlands, and STEMRA is the mechanical rights organisation in the Netherlands.
But every country has its own PRO, and we would advise you to join a performing rights organisation, which is either where it's played or where you live. So a lot of Jamaicans, I know that your music is played in America because you're actually very close to America. And then you could, hello?
Right, I just wanted to ask a question. Is there any merit in joining more than one PRO?
You can join more than one. You could join every performing rights society in every territory, and I think people like Robbie Williams, I used to know his publisher, and they would go around and join in every society for them. I think the big artists do, and then they will collect directly. But it's a lot of like admin. It's even more admin than there is already. So
do you benefit by doing that by joining more than one? Or should you just stick to one?
I would join one just to keep things easy, because you can only join the one in the territory that it represents. So you could go around the world and join every single PRO, but then you get your money quicker, but you would still need somebody to like administer that for you. Yeah, I think it's a good question. Yeah, you can, but you can only join for each territory. So most people will join one PRO for the world, but you could exclude. So you could join BMI for the USA or ASCAP, and then you could exclude the UK and just join the PRS for the UK. But it's very complicated.
Right, and if we were to join the local performers, right, JCAP, would we need to then join BMI afterwards? Because I hear people sometimes say they join JCAP and they join BMI. So is there any need to join BMI after having joined JCAP?
Yeah, if you join JCAP for the world, you can't join BMI. You have to then exclude yourself from, exclude your JCAP territories. You need to exclude USA and join BMI just for the USA. But definitely join JCAP for the Caribbean, I would suggest, the Caribbean territories for Jamaica. Because I don't know how good BMI and the other societies are at actually collecting on the islands, Caribbean islands. So it's best to be in the territory where your songs are played the most. Should be the main PRO. Yeah. But then I think with Jamaica it's different. I would say join JCAP. If you're already a member of JCAP, stay there. But if you're joining initially, either join BMI and JCAP for the Caribbean. It's up to you. Publishers shouldn't really advise writers who to join. It's up to them. You could join ASCAP, BMI, PRS. A lot of my writers are members of PRS. And then from Jamaica, they were originally living in England and they joined PRS. So yeah, you can join any PRO that you want.
If you did join JCAP, you could actually just do a deal with JCAP and they can do a worldwide.
Yes.
They can collect for everywhere.
Yes.
So you don't necessarily have to join all the money if you don't want to.
No.
You can instruct them to collect on your behalf worldwide.
Yes. Most of them would want to do worldwide.
Yes.
And if you join for the world. So but if you don't want to be, you don't want to collect in other territories, you need to tell them to
Which territories you want to
yeah.
collect in.
So that's the difference between a publisher. A publisher will have representation in every territory, so we will have a sub-publisher in Germany, say, who will collect all your money from Ghana, and they will be a member of the PRO in that territory and the Mechanical Society in that territory. So they will then collect both mechanicals and digital as well, but we actually do a different deal with a digital collection agency who does everything. So we've taken the digital collection away from all our sub-publishers because there's a company that does it much better. You've got to continually search for companies that do the best job of collecting. Sorry.
Good evening.
Hi.
does these collecting agencies also collect a percentage of them?
Yes.
No. So that means if you have like a lot of different people collecting, you'd have to pay each one of these people, right?
All societies will
what's
take
the-
their
what's
cut,
the
yes.
sense?
Yeah, that's how they have to.
Yeah, they know that much.
They will take a cut from the publisher to join. As you know, as you join, you have to pay to join the PRO, and then they take a cut. Everybody takes a cut, I'm afraid, in the business. Let's see. And we try and take as small cuts as we can and go with people where they go direct, because it's just the fact that you have to do that. Right, we've got the screen working now, so we can go back. So we've done the index work. Yeah, it's not problem. No. Yeah, there are also, sorry.
Is there a standard fee for the collecting houses, or is each house have a different?
I think they all have different, I can't be 100% sure, but yeah, I think they'll all have different.
Do any of them pass 20%?
Sorry?
Do any of them pass 20%?
No, I don't think it's as much as 20%. I'll find out how much. Yeah, how much we charge. We also, Jack Russell, we go directly through a company who collects our YouTube money directly and our digital money directly. So, and that bypasses the PROs. PROs only for performing monies. There are mechanical royalties as well. There's a company called the MLCs, America, MCPS.
So if you see at the end here, this kind of explains what the different who collects what. So publishing, administration, performance rights, and your mechanical royalties. Kind of breaks it down so you can see who collects what of your money. So to the gentleman who asked the question, if you join JCAP first, they can collect for you worldwide. But if you were to join BMI, you would tell them that you would tell BMI to relinquish the Caribbean territory, and you would also tell JCAP to relinquish the rest of the world apart from the Caribbean. So you would be paying two different administration fees. So sometimes people don't want to do that because of that, and then it can get more complicated, and sometimes it can take longer to get your money when you join multiple societies. Yeah.
So when you say BMI collects in the US, right?
Right.
You said they don't collect in the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, what happens is, if a song is played in the USA, your money will go to BMI, to the PRO in that country. So your song is played in Germany, it will go to Gamma, and then because you're a BMI member, it has your CAE number, IPI number, and then they send the money to
They're
BMI.
affiliated.
Yeah. Thank you, that's a good way.
I'm a member of PRS.
Yes.
Alright, I'm also a member of ASCAP as a publisher.
For the US.
Yeah, for the US. and I'm a member of JCAP for the Caribbean.
All right, so there's a good example, Mikey. So there you do PRS for the world,
Yes.
excluding the Caribbean and
JCAP for the Caribbean.
and USA. So your USA monies come through ASCAP.
Yes, ASCAP is just a publisher though. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
a
registered
PRO.
I'm not registered as a writer in ASCAP.
Okay.
I'm registered as
You're
a
a publishing company.
yeah.
You're making it very confusing.
Yeah, I'm registered as a writer with
Okay.
PRS.
But your publishing shares of for your company come through ASCAP.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. You know.
I think it gets a bit more confusing as I listen. Because what I understood you to be saying at the onset is that if you're registered with JCAP, you don't have to go nobody else. That's what I understood you to be saying.
For the world, if you register
For
for
the
the world.
world,
For the world.
if you register,
Yeah.
but JCAP, you don't
Yes.
need anybody else.
No.
No, for the world. If you register
don't
with them
want
for the world, you don't need anyone else.
Wait, I, for instance, have registered with them. You tell them about the world. Just figure that you register.
You have to look at your contract.
So how would I know? How would I know that I need to?
Yeah, you would have signed something.
So it will be in your contracts what territories they're collecting for, and you can always send them an email. They're very good.
Right, but
They'll get back to you. But it will be in your contract which
I
territories.
think it also would be foolhardy for them not to. The music is not a Jamaica thing, eh? It goes all over
Right.
the world. So I think JCAP would be remiss if they, for instance, register somebody and don't register them throughout. Because the music
But
not
it will
stay.
But some
It will connect.
people only want JCAP to collect the Caribbean. So it depends on the person. Yeah.
Because you're a JCAP member, your CAE number, or any airplanes anywhere else will connect to you there in JCAP. JCAP will be the people that pay you.
Based on the data that you have gathered over the years, I'm interested in the Latin market. Which PRO is strongly dominant in the Latin market sector? Knowing that
They all have their own PROs.
Yeah,
My sub-publisher in South America is called ONSA, and they're probably one of the only publishers out there, and they collect from each different
Territory.
country, in South America.
They know if-
Uruguay, I can't remember all of them, but I have a separate one for Brazil as well. So everything is collected. The worst place is probably Africa to collect, because I don't know how well their PROs are set up. But I think South America's okay. They all have their own PROs out there. So and the publisher will do the work for you. The publisher in each territory is responsible to make sure that all your songs are registered in that with that PRO. They are members of the PRO, the mechanical societies in their territory. So it's, when I send my catalogue out to them, it's their responsibility to then register with that,
And
with all the PROs.
which territory do you normally have issues with, please? Apart from Africa.
I have a sub-publisher who covers all the territories that have not got their own sub-publishers. So it's actually my sub-publisher in the Netherlands, and they cover all of that. But I think Africa and India, obviously Russia, China, they're not as developed as, and whether their infrastructure allows them to, adequately collect through the PROs. And also the PROs, it's all about tech now. They've got to be really up with the tech, and because there's so many small amounts of money, there's so many different versions of songs. So some PROs actually can't cope with big catalogues, a large amount of songs, just having to collect the money and pay it out is, you need a good system, like a software system that can do that. And they're always, even PRS is at the moment changing its system, and it's shambles, sorry, to tell you the truth. And BMI, they're all struggling to keep up the amount of data that's coming in.
I really feel that data analytics, that's why I'm asking these questions. I am venturing in data, so it means a lot to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Data is a real problem at the moment. Yeah. Coping with the number of songs, the splits, and digital. Yeah, all the different. I've got actually outside a list. I've got a list of all the territories that I collect my digital monies from, and I use a company called Impel. And I've just got a list of all the territories, and then along the top, Amazon, and then who collects what from where, and it's so complicated. You have to sit down and work out. There's companies called Amra, Impel, and have to license to collect the monies off the DSPs, so they have to get a license from TikTok. And they're always chasing tails getting licenses from these companies. So, you have to just try and find somebody as competent and as efficient as you can to collect the monies. And there's always people saying, "Oh, I can collect that better than you." There's companies that pop up from all over the place saying, "Oh, I know you've got monies hanging around here. I know I can collect this for you. Sign up to us." And you have to really look into it and just be really careful that you're picking the right people to collect your monies. I'll pass you back.
So if you can look here, you can see what a publishing administrator actually does. So as she was just talking about, the sub-publishers maintain the networks in all the other territories around the world. So you'll have Jack Russell, that's your main publisher, and we have sub-publishers who collect for you all around the world in different territories. So in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, we make sure your money is collected all over the globe. And also all of these different things here, as you can see, we make sure that it's collected everywhere and everything that you do. Also, which we'll get into a bit later, for sync licensing. So we've had lots of sync licensing last year, this year. So you guys know New Balance trainers. We've had a sync with them recently. And so we also want to get your music synced because, that's a great way of making money. Because streaming now, which I wish we could go back to the days of vinyl. Personally, I love vinyl, and I wish we could go back to the days of vinyl and CDs because artists made money then. No, Spotify is saying you as an artist now, one person listens and you get 0.003 cents per stream. And if you have 1,000 people, they've changed the goalpost now. If you have 999 people stream your song, you don't get paid. You don't get paid. Spotify doesn't pay you anymore. You have to have 1,000 streams for over your entire catalog. Yeah, to get paid now. You have to have over 1,000 streams now to be paid. So my question is then, where does the money go for the 999 streams? Right. So it. Sure. Right.
I'm new to the music. Right?
Sure.
So I'm just asking because I'm trying to understand. So you're saying that per stream, Spotify used to pay how much?
0.003 cents per stream. Right. And what used to happen is you used to get paid per stream. It doesn't matter if you had 100, 10, or 5. However, what they've done now is they've said they're only going to pay you out if you have over 1,000 streams. So if you calculate all the small artists, all the small songs. Yes, over your catalog. So
even if you have it on one song,
right.
That don't work?
No. They want to change it now. So the new updated term, what they want to do is they want to say, so they had it at any amount of streams is fine, they'll pay you. Then they move the goalpost to you have to have 1,000 streams. Now the updated version, which people are fighting against, they say 1,000 over your catalog. So that could mean you could have a big song with 1 billion streams, but then your earlier songs have 900 streams, so then you shouldn't get paid for that billion streams. And people are protesting and saying that is ridiculous and that can't happen. Yes, miss. So, so basically, Spotify has its own regulations, really, right? So that's why a lot of people have chosen not to put their music on Spotify anymore and go direct to seller. So, for example, a lot of people now are going back to physical sales and having their own websites and stuff and saying, you can come and download the song on my website or you can buy it and not put it on there at all. So, if you have the 999 streams, Spotify is not going to pay you. You have to have currently 1,000 streams to be paid out by Spotify, unfortunately. And they're not paying that much because Tidal and Apple Music pay you way more than Spotify. So Spotify, out of all the music platforms, Spotify plays the worst. However, yes. Yeah, no, at the moment it's 1,000 streams per song, not per catalog, but they want to change that. Right. Saying I wish we could go back to vinyl. Unfortunately, in this new age, it's streaming. So we make sure that your information is registered correctly on YouTube and all of these different platforms so that you're getting paid out as much as possible because the margins are so small, every cent counts. So we make sure that you get paid what you deserve because streaming is crazy. So this is what I was showing you guys earlier that you couldn't see. The black box, I believe, is unclaimed, estimated at 2.5 billion in music royalties goes unclaimed globally each year. So you guys can take a picture of this if you want. I'll have it up for a minute more, and you can see Apple Music is the top. Sorry. Yeah, so I can email it to you, so you guys can have later on. So how do you guys lose publishing income? So your ISWC codes are incorrect or incorrect titles, incomplete songwriter credits, typos or inconsistent naming, no alternative naming registrations. I cannot tell you the times that me and Claire have seen songs that have gone platinum, gold, and they have incorrect registrations who are not our clients, but other people. Missing PRO registrations. So some people don't have any affiliation to BMI, ASCAP, or PRS. No admin partners are incorrect splits. And please, I'm just going to say this. Anybody who's recording, please have a split sheet because there is so many songs that we have and the songs go gold, they go on the billboard, they get plaques, and then somebody says, oh, the splits are different. You guys agreed something in the studio, right? You say we're going to split it 50-50. Next thing you know, somebody's claiming 100%. And it was just a gentleman's agreement. You and them and God know what happened. So please, guys, make sure you have your split sheets, please, because it's important. So yes, there is. Yeah, we have one we can send out to you guys. That's a general split sheet that works for most occasions. There are different things like if you hire somebody you hire a producer for instrumental, that would be different than a split sheet. But yeah, please make sure you guys have a split sheet because I cannot tell you how many times we've had we've had sync deals come in. We had a McDonald's sync deal the other day come in for 50,000 US dollars, and they wanted to just use it. They didn't want to own the song. McDonald's just wanted to use it. However, the splits, you have to ask everybody on the split sheet, and certain people were claiming they had more or not. So guess what? Because of that, nobody got the deal. And that song went to somebody else. So these split sheets are important at the very start because further down in your career, We're always pushing for you to get sync deals. We're always pushing for your catalog to be seen, to be used in movies, games. We have Grand Theft Auto coming up. We have FIFA that people's songs are in that we have. And these are big money deals, life changing amounts sometimes. And if it's not registered correctly, or there's splits on there, then somebody can say, okay, no, I'm not giving permission. But if we know the right splits, everything's fine and everybody gets paid. Sure.
Ask about registration.
For your songs? Right. What do you want to know about that?
Well, I've been in Clare for a number of years now, I think, but sometimes I record songs and I don't readily just register. You know what I mean? And they put them out.
Right.
Yeah? And I'm wondering if there's some way I can get back those.
Good question.
Yeah, because I like, I record a lot of songs. As you know, Clare, I record a lot of songs, and sometimes I don't call you and say, Clare, this is a new song about and So I want to be on top of my registration now. What do I need to do?
Yeah, you need to register as soon as the song is. I mean, even before it's been released, or you in the studio, you should all decide, because a lot of the times you get miscommunication. Maybe one of the musicians thinks they've got a share, or they're given a share, but they don't know they've got a share. I've always tried to say, outside every studio, there should be a secretary or someone with the shares, and before they're not allowed out of the studio until they've signed the, split sheet for the songs that they've just.
And you know what? Sometimes you might have the song name "Love Your Brother," and then when the producer releases it, him say "Brother Love."
Yes, spell it right. Yeah, have the right exactly. If you get the.
So even though you register as brother, love your brother, in register as brother love.
Yeah.
Are you able still to get?
If we don't know that the other guy has registered with a different name, no, we wouldn't know that. But we do, like when we register songs, we always try and go on to PRS and BMI, see if those are the two societies that we mainly use, to see who else registered it, what the share they've. Like I did it the other day, just see who's registered what share. Even if it goes like 17, if it's 33 each, and two of them go 33.4, and it goes 0.1 over 100, it'll go into dispute. So you have to, you have to look at all the other registrations, and a lot of the societies aren't merging songs at the moment, so they'll have 8 or 9 registrations for one song, and unless all the percentages add up to 100, if they go over by 0.01, the societies can't pay out. It's like a dispute, and they don't actually tell you that it's in dispute. They just leave it there and they don't pay out. So we do try and find, and that's why we have a split sheet, as you know, Nike, but I don't know if you have, you don't. Yeah. We've got one, and we actually explain everything. You put the composer has 50%, the author has 50%. If you're composer author, you can, it's however you decide how those shares are allocated at the time the song is written. Hopefully, yeah.
Sometimes you get a rhythm.
Yes.
And the composer composed the rhythm. You are the writer, and you compose the lyrics as well.
Yes.
Right? So, here.
50-50. 50 for the lyrics and 50 for the composer share. Yeah. But they can be, a featured artist who's contributed lyrics. So again, you have to sort that out, because you might not want to give the featured artist 25, you might want to give them 15 or 30-20, and you've got to agree that at the time, because his publisher might go and say, oh, I've got 75% of the author share, and yeah, so 50-50. 50 for the lyrics and 50 for the music, the composer, the beat. And again, there's a lot of confusion with producers building a beat, but then it's actually somebody else's, or they've bought it off somebody and then they both register it. And you say, well, actually, who wrote that beat? Who was the composer of that beat? Again, you've got to decide when the producer's got to decide at the time, whether he gets a share of the beat, whether it's his beat or whether he's bought it off somebody else, and who is the actual composer of that beat.
So yeah, if you pay a producer for a rhythm instrumental, whatever, that's work for hire, and you should have a work for hire contract. So that producer, let's just say the song, you could give them a share if you wanted to, but it's work for hire. You don't have to. So for example, you need a work for hire contract. So if you paid $1,000 to the producer to build that rhythm, you not own that rhythm. That's yours, right? So therefore, you should have a work for hire agreement, and that producer should sign that work for hire agreement. So he knows that it's a work for hire. You know that it's a work for hire. So there's no dispute over it because you can produce your contract to say this was a work for hire. Because a lot of times that happens. People pay the producer for the rhythm and then the song blows up. There is no agreement. It's just your word against the producer's word. And then the song goes into dispute. 5 years later, there's a plaque. It's on the billboard. It's in the Jamaica Gleaner. Oh, wow. This song's gone platinum in the UK. It's gone this here. And yet still nobody behind the scenes has got paid because it's in dispute. So make sure you have your splits agreements, work for hire, and anything else that you guys are doing. So you guys can see here what's the difference, because we always get this. What's the difference between a publisher versus a distributor versus a label? So you guys can see on the board what the different things are. So, and also about masters, because normally when you're at a record label, they will own your masters. We don't own your masters. We have nothing to do with that. We just make sure you get paid and everything is registered correctly. The distributor, they put out obviously your songs and stuff like that, and they have no ownership either. Recording labels normally have ownership of your masters, so that's where it differs. Your distributor and your publisher don't have ownership of your masters. However, I will say some distributors nowadays are going into publishing and they're going into certain different things and they are buying certain people's masters. So when you're signing with certain distributors, please read the terms and conditions carefully. And one word everybody should be careful of is perpetual. Right. However, yeah. Yeah, perpetual, perpetuity, and all of these things, because the life of copyright also is a term. Life of copyright is a new term they're using also. So, life of copyright. So that means for your life and 90 years after you're dead. So those are words to look out for, because and then also I've seen a contract recently. It says perpetual of the universe. The universe. So when they want to go to the moon, yeah. So when they want to go to the moon or Mars, they own your music there too.
Alright, so speaking about the master.
Right.
So overall, the person who pays for the session, who puts in, they will own the master. So if the artist themselves put in the money paid, they own the master. If you're assigned to a record label, basically they're gonna own it.
Right.
Or if you work with a producer and they do all the preparation.
Right. Right. Yeah. So just to be clear, normally, because this differs, because sometimes people have different contracts or agreements. So normally, if the producer pays for the studio time of the artist and puts the money behind it, and the artist just comes to Vice, normally the producer owns the masters. If the artist pay for the studio time and everything to do with it, the artist normally would own the masters. If you're with a record label, 99.9% of the time with the contracts that I've seen, the record owns the masters. However, now, There are exceptions to the rule because if you have different contracts and stuff like that, but that normally is what happens. But just because the producer owns the master, it doesn't mean the artist doesn't get paid if they wrote the song. It doesn't mean the artist doesn't get paid their artist share. It just means that particular masters would be owned by the producer.
Excuse me, how long has the producer own masters? Do they own it forever or in perpetuity?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So the producer owns the masters for life, unless sometimes the artist wants to buy the masters, the producer can sell it, the producer can sub-license it eh, to a label, to a different thing. They can do whatever they want with it. They can make it have a sync deal. They can use it any which way they want because they own the masters. So just like if the artist owns the masters, it's the same thing. And if the label owns the master, the label can do anything with your song as well. So
But the artist will still get paid.
the artist will still get, yes, the artist can still get, yeah, the artist can still get something if the artist is a writer on it. Yes, yes. So so normally companies, let's just say, let's use Pepsi as an example. Pepsi wants to license a song. They would link the master owner normally and ask the master owner, but sometimes they also want to know who the writer is and the artist also to have it cleared. Normally they like to do that, but sometimes they just ask for the master owner. Yes.
What happens when a lot of people sing on one rhythm? Like suppose if you have a rhythm and you put 10 to one rhythm. Oh, does that?
Okay, so everybody's familiar with the DJ Mac rhythm probably out at the moment, where there is I think 192 artists. Yeah, there's 192 official artists and 222 unofficial, right? So, so yes, YFL rhythm. 192 people on that rhythm. Yeah. So that's huge rhythm. So it would just, so each individual song, it would just work like an album. So each individual song, you would have that particular writer. I don't know what their particular arrangement is because it could be different. Because a lot of people use the unofficially and they were given authorization. So for example, because DJ Mac and Crash Dummy, those are the producers and instrumentalists on that. If somebody, for example, I went to sing a song on it today and they authorized it, they could claim 100%, even though I'm the artist. They could do. And that is, I mean, it's a little bit, it's that.
For them to claim 100?
No, because for that particular rhythm is a little bit different because people have just gone on the internet and downloaded it from YouTube and put the song on it. So therefore, people have used their intellectual property. Right. However, not necessarily. The writer should, however, because they authorized it, have to because of the way it come out. But let's just take not that rhythm. A normal one, yes, you would get your writer share, and it would right, yes, it would be a normal split. But this is a little bit different situation.
See what he did it, right? 2,000 a day for the rest.
Right. Yeah, so for all who doesn't know what he's referring to, P. Diddy's biggest song, what's the name of the song? The song with Sting, right? He has to, yes, he has to pay Sting $2,000 a day for the rest of the life for that song because he didn't get clearance. He used it and he didn't get clearance. And Cisco's song, that thang, he didn't get clearance for that too. And he didn't get any money out of that song, which was his biggest song. So, also make sure you get clearance.
Same thing with the Houston.
Yeah.
I have a question here.
Yes, sir.
2.2 billion you say unclaimed?
Yes.
Where is the funding? Any funding? I see a lot of people come to sign up for publishing.
Right.
But nobody ever come and say, here is some money. Because, hold on, you have 2.5 billion from just one country, right? And they confiscate the money then. I'm saying, where are the people in the Congress, just like how them representing digital thing, digital money or whatever? I'm saying that in Jamaica, Bob Marley get the first money and them say, man, they run off with the money, In Jamaica, you cannot go to the bank and tell them, why I'm a musician, But I see a lot of people come. They are administrating music, But nobody ever come and say, look, we need to have a structure of grants for development of registering songs, recording songs, even creating our own platform. Because everybody outside take it up. Nobody structure it from inside. I say Jay-Z set up Tidal and sell it back, right? I mean, in the world, you have 500,000 reggae band, 50,000 reggae artists right now. All it looks like nothing is going on with reggae. Still the top in the world. And I'm saying between the publishing, the publishing house, and the government, where is the money for the poor people then to say if you're a legal artist, musician, you can go to this structure and get some money, even for your personal, personal development. Because what is happening is foolishness. You understand? You have people making songs, right? Not registering it. Wait. All right, the money are going to get confiscated, unclaimed. I'm saying again, we need some form of thing, because when I go to the bank and tell him, why don't you say want to see my income. But the income, I cannot live off of that neither, because if a man give me a work and it value even 200,000, if he might give me 10,000, I have to take it because I don't have a structure for balance off. And this is where them use and mash up groups, bands. And right now in Jamaica, one school of music, where is the money, the loan, the grants, the benefits to improve these things? We have 14 parish, but one music school for 50 years. After Bob Marley, 40 years, you have Joe Higgs. Anybody know? If Joe Higgs was a man here today, every artist would be recorded. Because in life, he put in a...
That look like a different topic.
Yeah, man. Hold on there, fire. Right. What in your head? Don't make it escape.
Right. So let me answer your question. So the black box of 2.5 billion is a global. It's. So if I can answer his question, guys. So yes, so the black box of 2.5 million is what globally they say goes unclaimed every year. But what we can do is we can email you guys with all funding that is available. There is specific ones for black women. There is funding for reggae artists and stuff like that specifically. We can put a list of that together so you guys can apply for that. No, you can apply for it. I cannot guarantee you guys are going to get it. Right? Because it's not, but there is funding. There is different funding around the world that is available to you guys here in Jamaica. And we can give you guys a list of that. If you guys left your email at the front, we can send that to you.
Most of them are already too late in the year to apply for it. Most of them
A lot of the funding starts the first of the year. And a lot of them finish by April is the deadline.
1 minute. How many people inside here know that there was funding? Because it seems as if I would. How many people in here know that there are funding? How many people get funding? None. Anybody? So I'm saying,
okay, how many? 1 second, one question. How many people applied for funding and didn't get it? So nobody applied in the room. No one applied in the room.
The point I'm making is, the point I'm making is that we really need proper representation.
And I agree with you fully.
Like I say now, as I know a lot of these meetings, I might not be synonymous to everybody here.
but I know a lot of music. I grew up like this, knowing and studying the music. And once there was a man, Mr. Bertrand, you know that man from France?
Right.
Yes. And after the new regulations of publishing and thing, I know say from them time that we're supposed to have these things. That's why I asked about it, you know. But there is no proper representation. And we put it in the context and say that I see a lot of people come about the representation of administration of publishing. If anyone is listening what I say, but nobody ever come and said this is how we break down the publishing, the benefits of
Right. So you see,
and this is how we assist or how we get help. Because first thing, 90% of the people that move on phone don't know for use it.
no, I know, but for example, okay, this is something internal that I'm going to tell you guys, right? That is personal. So when the hurricane happened, right, we personally sent things down to Jamaica. This is not something that we posted because we did this personally. We personally sent lots of things down. We contacted the performance rights organizations as well that most of you guys are a part of. And we said we should all come together to give something back to Jamaica, right? Now, we're not going to say which performance organizations responded and didn't respond. However, we always have been trying to do our best from even before I was at Jack Russell Music. And I personally am a writer and I'm with Jack Russell Music before I was even working for them anyway. And so what you're trying to say, I totally agree with. The government should have help, should have schools, should have multiple different things of our enterprise from the young to the more, the generation who's been in it. Because I've heard of a 24-hour music zone for decades and I've never seen one. So I totally agree with you. But at the end of the day, there is only so much that we can do. We have put in applications for stuff. We've returned to certain bodies for these things to do.
Would you find that something is general? For example, when I ask the question, who know about this funding? Who have ever applied and who have ever gotten it? Can't we see clearly that just proper representation? I mean, and then not focus sometimes on these holy things. This individual will can't even manage it.
No, I know, but that's why they can contact us directly afterwards. You understand?
And I agree to
because we have, remember, we're finishing at 8 o'clock and we started late because of the projector and there's a lot we need to try to get through.
Say again, the importance of what I see here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, to accelerate the pace of everything right now is proper structural funding it needs. That means if a man even forgot to register himself, if a man even need to wake up and come do something very. I mean, that type of urgency is not being given. I understand, you know, and I can say what you have said that people didn't go and very. But you know the bureaucracy that come to.
Right.
The G.
All right.
Once it comes to the G, it's like it's not for me. Because I live in the. You understand? Yeah.
Right.
Work on them type of thing there. Something will make sense to the people on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And it's a pleasure to be here.
All right. No. All right. All right. Yes, miss. All right.
One voice, please. Yes, is there a breakdown of the 2.4 billion that is?
Yes.
That we say, okay, for Jamaica it is $10 available. Is there a breakdown?
No, there's not a breakdown specifically of the countries. It's just the global total. Yes. Yeah, because remember, these are unpublished works. Sometimes these people, they don't have a publisher, they're not registered with like BMI, ASCAP or anything. So therefore, we're only estimating what goes unclaimed. So we wouldn't know specifically for which countries.
Where's that money? Is it somewhere?
So it's in what we quote unquote call a black box, right? And as I was explaining at the start, I don't know if you might have been here. So what happens is different countries have different laws about how far you can claim back in the back, right? So there is somebody in here that has a song that did billions of streams around the world. I'm not gonna point the person out, but they did the song went viral around the world, right? Let's just say that song was unclaimed. So that means in Japan, which the song did very well in Japan as well, that song, he can only claim 1 year in the back payment. So if you went to Clare, she can only go to Japan and say, I need to backdate this by 1 year. It used to be 7 years, but they've shortened the time. So he can only the countries. So each country and territory makes their own rules. So for example, Europe used to be 6 years. Europe used to be 6 years, and now Europe is only 3 years you can claim in the back. America is also 3 years you can claim in the back. So these things used to be sometimes it was 10 years you could claim, backdate it.
What we need to do is to try to get back to that system because
No, I mean, think if you think logically, right? If you have 2.5 billion every year, would you not cut the time too if you was the government? No, I know you wouldn't. You wouldn't, but but certain governments don't think like that. Right. Yes, sir. You know.
All right, say for instance, I want to know, say here's an R&B song.
Right.
You do a reggae cover.
Right.
And you pay the necessary fees online. There's a place that I paid it through. And you pay the actual reggae fee.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything to claim considering that you're using the same words as in the R&B song?
That's a very complicated one because a lot of these places that say they give you a licensing to use the song,
right.
A lot of them when you get down the road, it doesn't really give you the licensing.
You have to get permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Claire, just put your finger.
And I don't quite remember the name.
No, but what I'm saying is some of these places that say this, if you pay, $50, $100, $200 to get the licensing.
Is that publishing?
Yeah, just put this. No, this is for like the right to just put your fingerprint.
Right. So I'm asking, is there anything at all on the basis that it's your fee? It's not a reggae
You can't
fee.
just take somebody else's.
So we'd have to look at that individually because that is very very difficult.
You can't just.
No, he's saying he paid online to. No, he said he paid online for the licensing to use it.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You need to get permission.
So it really depends, but a lot of these sites who say they give you the licensing to use it, when it gets uploaded onto the DSP, it gets a strike, and then sometimes what happens is the original artist of the R&B version claims 100%. Because it didn't go through the right licensing, even though you paid for it, it didn't go through the right licensing most of the times.
It generates a certificate.
But yes, but a lot of these AI websites and stuff have popped up on AI things, and you get a certificate, but the certificate is not worth the money that you paid for it, basically. Unfortunately.
Those licenses usually only apply to the master.
Right.
License to master. So you can only collect the master, but you can collect anything. There's no publishing because you didn't write the song.
Yeah.
The songwriter gets the publishing. You get clearance so that the songwriter can collect their publishing because
So
they're
you get
using
them
their
from the
work.
beat that you built.
No, there's nothing for you to get. Because
They
you're using
need
They need to get permission.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Let's just hold on. Miss, what was your question? Right.
That I'm going to ask. If you get a good entertainment lawyer, you could probably challenge that. Could you challenge that?
No.
Or if it's in that line, it's expired. There's no way.
No, because let's just use Japan as an example. It's their law. So you would have to, if you wanted to change the law, you would have to have multiple millions of people signed up and then protest the law to have the law changed at a legal level. So
if it's Japan, but then you said all countries.
So Europe is 3 years, America is 3 years, and there's all different territories and countries have different times. So even if you got a lawyer, you couldn't challenge the legal law of that land. Yeah, basically. Any other questions so far?
The money goes to the government of Japan, isn't it? The government takes the money?
No, it stays with the PRO.
Yeah.
It just stays.
Yeah. It's just lost. It's not collected. The black box.
Distributed amongst all of the PROs, and there's
I think some of them do that, but I mean, as the guy who left said, that's the money that should be given to
Okay, so I touched. Oh, what's the question? Yes, guys, I can't hear the lady's question, please.
If you sign directly with the society, let's say MCPS,
Right.
to collect fee within that region, can they collect for the Caribbean?
PR. No. Yes.
JACAP would collect for the Caribbean, and then PRS, let's just say, would then collect from JACAP, and then JACAP would pay out that right? So then there's double
no, because it
commissions paid then.
no, because again it links to your CAE number, so no, that they're not double commissions.
So it's just one commission.
Yeah.
But JACAP.
Yeah, so each society will. So when a song's played in that country, say in the UK, and you're a member of JCAP, they will send your money to your society, and then to you, and then that will get distributed to you according to your CAE number. Yeah.
Is that the same as the IPI number?
Yes, CAE number is the same as the IPI number.
If you have territorial, it don't matter. Suppose you have JCAP for the Caribbean and Swiss for the rest of the
Yes. Okay, so yeah, it will go to. I think it'll go to the nearest one. I guess. Yeah. I think actually, and that's right. Yeah, if you're.
But some people have territorial deals like JCAP for Caribbean, Swiss for.
Yeah, if you're just with the JCAP for the Caribbean, it will go there for the plays in that territory, and the rest of the world will just go to BMI. Yeah. Yeah.
What role does MCPS?
Okay, MCPS is Mechanical Society, Collection Society. So every country has a performance rights organisation and a mechanical collection society, and a lot of them are joined together, except in America where they're very different. They've got Harry Fox and the MLC for mechanicals, and then you have ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC for performances. And I think America's the only country that's got more than one performance right organisation, so you can choose between one or the other. And they've got more mechanical societies, but most of the mechanical and performance societies join together, so they work with the same database. So they pay the mechanicals. If you're a member, a lot of writers aren't actually members of mechanical societies. They leave that to the publisher. And again, you don't really need to join a mechanical society. But if you've got your own publishing company, you might join the mechanical society.
PPL and PPL are joined together now.
No, PPL is completely different. That's neighbouring rights. That's for you for your recordings. That's for you as an artist or a performer. If you contribute to a product, it's nothing to do with writers. We just deal with writers and publishing, and then you need to think of them as two completely separate roles. You're a writer and you're signed to a publisher, and you write the songs, and you're an artist connected to the recording, and that's all collected through your neighbouring rights, which a lot of people don't even know that you can collect your neighbouring rights. And I had the guy from my sort of the company that I always recommend people join, IPRG, and he was speaking at the conference. He's called Marco, but you can join. They're completely different organisations, completely different sources of money, so don't get them muddled up. Think of yourself, because in Jamaica, a lot of the artists are also writers, and it's quite unusual. A lot of artists just have a team of writers who write for them, and they're not actually songwriters. But in Jamaica, 100%, 95% of the time, the artist also writes his own lyrics. But it's not all over the world. So you've got to think of yourself as an artist and a writer, and just completely separate the two. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So like when a writer songs for an artist, what's like the standard?
You then get your credit as a writer, and then he will collect his artist.
Like what the split would look
Oh, the splits, again, if you wrote all the lyrics, you'd get 50%. If you wrote the lyrics with someone else, then you'd work it out between you, who gets what.
Question. If you wrote on a project and you submitted, you registered the project, however, the label or the artist did not put in the proper credit, say, until 10 years later, then they finally approved the request. How does that work? Is there a standard procedure for the back claim? Because they basically, I'm not sure if they claimed or it was supposed to be paused. Because it's supposed to be paused once there's a dispute. But if they decide to leave a dispute for 10 years and then after 10 years, then they finally accept the claim.
You can't actually, if somebody's registered a song 100% and 10 years later you come in and you try and claim.
It was in dispute.
If you registered it initially in the time when the song was released, they did not accept the claim until 10 years.
So it was in dispute for 10 years, but now they accepted it.
Why would it have been in dispute?
Because he submitted, it's the other party said differently, so it was in dispute. But now, But now the other party has agreed to that 10 years later. So
it's been resolved 10 years later. Yeah, then they will only give you the back royalties for whichever 3 years, 6 years, or I mean, it's really important to get your song registered properly from the start.
Yeah, well, it's registered properly.
Yeah.
However, they didn't accept. So it's paused.
So it's not registered. There's a dispute. Yeah. Well, you have to sort that out between you, and the PROs will ask for supporting documentation, the publisher, or you will have to send your contract.
I know, decide to accept it 10 years later.
Yeah.
Talking about
the back royalties, then it will, once it's resolved, it will click in it'll be sitting in dispute. Once it's resolved, it'll click in, be resolved, and then that society will hopefully go back as long as they can, what Simone's been saying, 3 years, 6 years, and otherwise it'll be just going forward. You'll get
so normally when it's in dispute, no parties are getting paid, so normally the payment is paused. So what should happen is, whenever it was in dispute from, then that's when you could get backdated from. But it depends on the different societies. But once it's in dispute, nobody gets paid. We have,
because most of the money would have been made, so it will only be going forward that you'll get your proper money. So you need to try and resolve it, and you try and resolve it between the writers and the publishers, because the PROs won't help you. They don't want to resolve disputes because they're keeping the money. So just try and. There are some songs that have just been in dispute for years and years and years, and it's black box. It's money sitting in dispute in societies for songs that don't get resolved. And also, don't put a claim in. You can't put a claim in for a song like 10 years later and say, if it was registered 100% by somebody, which I thought was what you were talking about, and then you put in a claim and say, I wrote it, I was in the studio, unless you have to go to court, really, to resolve it, because you should have registered it at the time. Yeah, well, you lose, because all the money's been made already. The song's made its money.
Right. So I just wanted to talk about some of our sync partners that we've had. So we've had John Lewis, which is like a big department store like Macy's in England. We've had New Balance, Dr. Dre Beats. We've had FIFA. We've had oh my gosh, what's the game? That big game that's coming out this year. That's Grand Theft. Yes, Grand Theft Auto. We've had sync deals in Grand Theft Auto, film, television, video games, commercials, radio station stuff. So we get regular sync deals, and we always pass it on to our members if we think the song is a fit for whatever the brief is from the customer. So that's what we always try to do. So you can see what we do when it comes to sync deals and what we don't do. So we will share the briefs always with you. We'll refer you to sync agents. We'll advise you on promotion strategy and handle any licensing paperwork. But we don't act as a sync agent for you guys. But we always give you briefs of sync deals that we have coming through, and we have sync deals coming through all the time. So if we think that something in your catalog is a fit for what the customer wants, we'll always pass that on to you.
Excuse me.
Sure.
If you have release a song and they have my IPI number and the producer release a song, he use my IPI number, would I still have to register the song as well?
I would register for you, Mikey. Yeah, as a publisher, I would register your share.
Okay.
Yeah, but then the other writer would register his share with his publisher.
Yeah.
So you should register. Yeah, your share definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Because,
yeah.
I have a song that was released and they have my IPI number and they put it up as thing, but they I don't know if that was enough for.
Yeah, that means they're trying to get it right from the other side. So that's good. We often have people who contact us and say, your writer's written on our song. Can you give us the details? Yeah. So just try and get them as accurate as possible so that they match and give your IPI number. Some people just put, the other thing is some people just put unknown. So if you can't find the composer, you put unknown, and we used to do that a lot. And then I found out this society in Spain does not accept any song where you put unknown writer.
Yeah.
So we're now going through our whole catalogue and we're finding all the unknown writers where we've put unknown writers where we thought we were doing the right thing by giving the guy who actually wrote it the chance to put in his claim. And we're now going through and checking whether that guy has put in his claim and trying not to put unknown writers, because that song won't be accepted in some societies. Again, they can't cope with things like that, having an unknown writer. So, and some of them try and match them up if they know that the song's the same, but they don't assume that the song's the same. Say you wrote 2 songs with the same title, on different rhythms, and they don't assume. So they wait for the other writer to put their name in. So try and just register as much as everything. Everything. Yeah.
And also, I'd advise people, you can register something before it comes out. So you can send unreleased works to your publisher before it even comes out, and you can register it. So you don't have to wait until it's released, because a lot of people do that now, which is great. A lot of producers do that, even just the instrumental, the song itself, so you can send it to Clare before it's even released. So you don't have to wait until it's released and then issues might arise. You can do it from the jump before anything's even released. So this is just a case study that I made up. So this is a dancehall producer that's been releasing music for 5 years without proper administration. Multiple tracks had significant streaming numbers, but have incomplete registration. So he signed this to Jack Russell, and the audit catalog was complete, identified the unclaimed usage, filed claims across the 8 different territories, and corrected the metadata errors. So the total royalties that this in this scenario say was £15,000. Right, royalties. Case study 2. A reggae artist's catalogue had inconsistent titles across different societies, causing royalties, fragmentation, and missing payments. So, his payout increased up to 40% within 12 months of correcting those errors. Now, case study 3 is a hip hop producer beats were being used internationally, but no foreign claims had ever been made or filed. Years of overusage went unauthorized. So Jack Russell came in and activated sub-publishers, filed claims in 12 territories and registered with local societies and monitored outgoing usage. The new robbery that came in was 8,500. So you can see how things can add up and how things can improve when things are registered correctly, because a lot of money goes unclaimed on the table. A lot of things are registered incorrectly. The song names registered incorrectly, your names registered incorrectly, or there's incorrect splits on it. So that's when a publisher comes in and cleans up all of the metadata. So checklist before you publish. The complete titles and alternative titles. So you might have a radio version, you might have a cappella, you might have the explicit version. So all complete titles, all songwriters, credits, and splits. The ISWC code, which I know a lot of people are like, because why I put this one instead of the normal one is because JCAP specifically uses the ISWC code.
Not the RC code.
No, JAMS uses the ISWC code specifically. So
The WC code different from the IRC.
One's works and one's recordings. The
yes, so one's works and one's recordings.
And the ISWC is one that the
Yes, so JCAP uses the ISWC, which is why I put this one here for today, because
it uses ISRC code.
Sometimes and some.
Are they different codes though?
Yes. Yes.
So ISRC
yes.
codes much more important. ISRC codes are now the handprint for linking to the recordings, and before in publishing you never really had to put that, but now because of digital and everything you have to put the ISRC code to link to the product, to link to the download, to link to anything on the recording side.
Does it transfer to the WC code?
No, it's nothing to do. The ISWC code is the one that the PROs give. It's completely separate for the publishing side, but now the recording side information is much more important to the publishers than it used to be. And again, we didn't really know. We weren't putting ISRC codes on the, when we register a song. We now put all the we did put the recording details, but we didn't know anything about ISRC codes. But now we put all that in and we send that out to all our sub-publishers, and we're trying to make sure that our catalogue. We always have an ISRC code, but you only get given an ISRC code by your PPL or Sound Exchange, by your rights owners or your label or your distributor. So or sometimes if it's not released and you haven't really put it out, it hasn't got an ISRC code, so there's no sort of mapping for it really.
I want to say, I contacted JCAP and I told them that I was with Jack Russell. They say, your songs are registered with Jack Russell, that means we have them already. That's what they told me, right?
Yeah, they have a reciprocal agreement with Peering Direct with JCAP for the Caribbean.
Yeah.
We've just
say that from you have it, they have it. That's
yes,
what they told me, right?
yes, they say they have it from PRS.
Yeah. So that would I still have to register that WC code?
You should give it to us, yes, as your publisher, yeah, and then we link it to the songs. And then also every version, so if you do
you have to register the IRC code and the WC code. Two of them, you have to register two of them.
We can get the ISWC codes, you can't really find those.
Okay.
But we go on Spotify anyway and find the ISRC code when we're registering a song and putting it on our system. Now we will go onto Spotify and you find the ISRC code if our writers haven't given it to us. Because the writers don't necessarily know what the ISRC code is, but you can go onto these sites and Spotify is very good for that. So you have to use Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would just say to everybody, and I know some people's catalog in here is huge, but what I would say is build a database yourself, maybe in Excel, notes written down of all of your songs titles with your chords in it. Every time you make a new instrumental, every time you make a new song, just add it to it. Because, for example, if you have to ever move from your distributor and you want to change distributors, let's just say you wanted to move from 1 RPM to VPAL, or from VPAL to 1 RPM, or to, they're going to require that. And sometimes some catalogs are extensive and it can take a long time to find these things, and you don't want, there's somebody here at the back of the room where a system was updated with one of the DSPs, and they had 5 albums that was missing off their catalog for since 2020. And because their catalog is so immense, they didn't realize it. So they weren't getting paid because they were getting paid well. They didn't realize 5 were missing, and these albums had some of the biggest songs. So I've just had to write emails to say, hey, when you moved out of the new system, these ones were there. So they've had to go through their entire catalog now and get their RSCC codes, the W codes too, and put all of this together so we can say to the distributor, look, this is what's happened. These are missing, and these have been missing for the last 5 years. Even though they're up on streaming platforms still, that means they've been collecting money, but he wasn't paid for 5 years. So this is why it's important that you have your own personal log of these also. If you need to do a distributor, if you need to do anything, just start to write a log of all of your songs and stuff. Yes, sir.
All right. Say you have a single.
Yes.
And you put it on an album, and there are 2 different codes. Let's have seen.
Right.
2 different codes. How do you treat with that? Considering that you have the code for the single, and now it's on the album, and they have a different code on the album. How do you treat with that?
So you collect for both. Yeah. So if a song,
is the same song that you put on?
Yes. Sometimes. It's so sometimes on certain albums it would have this. It would have the same chord sometimes. Sometimes it would be different depending.
Well, I've seen it and it's different. So
Yeah. So when you would be putting out the album, you would give that to your publisher, that your song is going to be on this album, and it would come under your different work. So for example, as I was saying, like the certain songs have a speeded up version, a slow version, an instrumental, or songs will be on an album like Reggae Gold or something like that. So it would still be underneath that login to PRS. If you type that song, it would still be underneath your work, you know?
Yeah, we have different.
So you can apportion the royalties accordingly.
Yes.
You have 2 different codes, that's what you said.
Correct, yes. Yeah. So this is just how kind of Jack Russell music helps you. And so basically I would say when you guys are looking for a publisher, make sure they're experienced in it, because you're correcting for global territory. So you want to make sure they have sub-publishers overall that can collect for you. You want to make sure because there's many distributors now that when you log in distribute, if you click this, we can collect that, which is not, it's not, if you want to go with that, if you want your distributor to collect your publishing too, I don't know. But this is the things I would look out for a publisher for red flags is when did they start to collecting publishing, right? If they've been doing publishing more than 5 years, which artists do they have, and how long have they had those artists? Because to me, if I go into a business, for example, or a school, if I have my children, I'm going into a school, I want to see that they have those same teachers year after year after year, because that means that those teachers are happy at the school and they're going to treat my children the best. So if you have, let's just say, we've had artists at Jack Russell for, what's the longest one we've had? Gosh, since 2007, right? So people stay because, one, they get paid right, they get paid on time, and the headache, if you've ever tried to collect your own publishing, oh my God, you'll know the headache of that. So the headache's taken away, and you have somebody where you can email, you can call, you can get through to if you have a problem when you're submitting your work, because a lot of these things now are digital. There's an AI robot that you can talk to about your publishing. You don't get an email back from a human being. Me personally, I can take up my phone, I can email a human being. I'm not gonna put my hands into a publisher where I can't get through to anybody. I have to go on the website and talk to an AI robot, and the AI robot says, how can I help you? Or you call an automated line and you don't get a human being. Nothing drives me more crazy. So these are the things I would look out for, even if you choose not to go with Jack Russell. What's in the contract? How easy is it to get out of that contract, right? When you're coming to the close of your term, how easy is it? You just have to send us a letter, you know? And I think that's important as well, because when you're coming to the end of your term with Jack Russell, you can just send a letter. Some publishers make it extremely hard to get out of your publishing, and then it automatically renews for another amount of time. So those are things and red flags I would look out for if you're going to go with the publisher. How easy can I get out of my contract if I want to, if I'm not happy? How easy can I get in contact with staff when I'm ready to? So these are the things I would look out for. So anybody have any questions? Sure.
How easy is it to get out of a contract?
As I said to you, you just send us a letter at the end of your contract. That's it. What's it?
It's
How many?
60 days.
Yeah, 60 days before the renewal, you send a letter.
What's the general term? What's the general length of?
It's 3 years initially, and then rolling over year by year, and you can get out of it any time during that on a yearly basis. Yes.
As a person who have been with Jack Russell, I can say, for me personally, I don't know about anybody else, but I find Jack Russell to be very helpful. You can get clear at any time. You know what I mean?
How long have you been with them?
All I'm clear, about near 10 years.
Yeah, I should think at least. Yeah.
And they pay your royalty on time, you don't have to ask them about. And they're helpful. That's me personally. I'm just talking about me personally.
Thank you, Mikey.
Sure, yeah. You at the back?
Yeah, I have a song that I've never seen on my statement, but I've never heard a song. I recorded it. The producer that produced it told me that he sold me, and I've never heard the song. But I'm seeing it on my royalties. I want to know where that song is. I'm searching for it. Yes.
You've got a song that's you're getting paid for, but that you haven't released it.
I don't even know. The producer told me he sold me.
It might be somebody else's song.
My song.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah. But is it registered?
Yeah.
But,
the producer told me he sold the beat.
Oh, okay.
And I've never heard somebody. I've never heard it from a recording. But I'm seeing it on the royalties. And you must have been connected.
Are you with us?
Yes.
So you're getting royalties for it, but you don't know. Have you looked at your statement?
Oh, so you see, this is a good, guys. 1 second, please. So you see, this is a good example about Jack Russell that he gave. He doesn't know the song, he doesn't remember the song, but he's getting paid for the song. So we find songs sometimes you might not remember about. So we'll get back to you with that. We'll send you the song.
It'll say on the statement where the money's coming from.
Yeah. So it should say the name of the song and the statement. You can just put it in.
Oh, it's not your song, you mean?
It is his song. Put it into YouTube or something.
I don't hear about it. That's what I mean.
Who did you record it with?
That's me.
Producer told me he sold the project.
But it's out there then.
Yeah.
It's out there. That's why you're getting money.
Yeah. Yes, miss. Yes, miss. Go ahead.
Yes, I've been hearing you tell people how you can help them to earn money, etc. Very informative. But how do publishers make money?
Yeah, we take a commission. We take a percentage of 20%. Yes, 20%. 20%. Yes, sir.
I know you had a slide here, but it missed me. So tell me, how do you go about registering with Jack Russell?
Oh, so jackrussellmusic.net. You can sign up online. So that's jackrussellmusic.net. Yes, we have cards outside with the email, with the website on it and the email address.
Excuse me.
Yes, miss. Okay.
The last set of programs.
We have some more cards. Okay.
The last set of programs have no cards.
Yes, sir at the back.
I thought the publishing is split like there's a part for the writers and the publishers have a 50%. Is that correct?
No.
Yeah, the publisher has a share and the writer has a share, and then we pay you back. We take our commission and then pay you back.
Yes.
With mechanicals, yeah.
Can you explain again? I'm sorry.
Okay, so with mechanicals, we take 100% and then we pay you 80. Say we take £100, then we pay you your 80. With performances, the writer always gets 50% paid directly to them through their PRO. That's why you should always join a PRO. And then we take the other 50% and then take our commission off that and then pay it to you in our statements. Yeah, because it was a way that PROs ensured that the writer always got money, and that you were the publisher, and the publisher couldn't take 100% and then maybe not ever pay you. It was to protect writers, really, so they will always 50%. And that's, again, your song should be registered properly because...
Do you Jack Russell your PR?
Yeah, we register PROs all over the world. Some people, I'm I just need to register my song there. Sorry, Lynk, because it might be played in Japan, say, and unless DASRAC has version as well, they won't know to pay that money to you, BMI, yours. That's how they all...
Who's some of the people that you have with Clare?
Yeah. Look at my website.
No,
yeah. Well, I don't want to say... Yeah. Yeah, so and reggae, yeah. People know. Lots.
So if you look on the website, you'll see everybody from reggae and dancehall. Greats.
I will recommend it.
Yes. So Black Sheep, how have you been with Jack Russell? And how have you found it? Yeah. You want to come and explain? So what happened? Why it was so life changing?
Yeah. Good night, everybody. So I'm Black Sheep of Black Sheep Music. So before Jack Russell, I had publishing with Greensleeve. So the next label come and buy Greensleeve and buy me with the label. Yeah, so I try. It was just administrative publishing, which I couldn't get out of. And as an admin, you expect say after a time you'd come out, I let me go to the admin. So for the past 5 years in that contract there, we never get even $1. We have the biggest song in the dance hall.
You want to name some, sir?
We have some big song, but
No, like
what?
We
We have most of busy signal catalog. So that alone to tell you.
Like
the style that you want, praise and worship. Yeah, we have them. We have songs, spice. We do the thing. And 5 years in your career, you know, see dollar out of publishing. That didn't make no sense. But them go sell back juice. So my deal was with Clare. If she can get me out of this, me give her everything. Me give her the catalog for deal with. I mean, I try back and forth with liar. Everything I try come out of the contract. What me I try do for 5 years, Clare do it like 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. After that, I can pay my bills, I can take care of my family. You get me? I say. So that is why I'm there with Jack Russell almost 15 years now. Like, I get so much other publishing offer. So much. I do a whole heap of writing camp. One of people there, them say, yo, we have a contract, we need a publishing. I'm like, I'm good, man. Because I can call Clare any hours. Even though she live on the British time, once I call Clare, if she miss call, she'll link me back. And so, wagwan, you good? You get me? So the relationship with the publisher where you can get them at certain time. You know what I mean? Some certain error happen sometime and you message somebody and you have to go wait like wait a call 3 business day gone in a 15 business day and the opportunity pass and you know what I say? So that's one of the things why I say it's a life changing thing for me because then with the other label before you know see dollar none at all and you know what I say? You put in the work, sleepless night, you know what I say? I have so much big song and then me can't make my daughter come say, oh, my daddy did. And him used to pirate thing there and him used to make them song there, you know. Me not work with something there. So me realize that in business, it hostile. I want hostile place. You know what I mean? Me hear a whole heap of story. Me have a whole heap of story to me can go on and on and on. And even in a 2026, we still have problems. But them not so big like one time. That's a minor thing now where we can fix. You know what I mean? So, time you have the knowledge, I pass it on to not for the newer youth them are coming. Yeah, if you link me, tell you. As I say, I have whole heap of stories. You know what I mean? I have whole heap of stories. Even some of the elder them, I sit down and reason with them. Even most of our popular artists them right now. But if one call them name, like you have big artists who have a favorite now, them do have a publisher. I mean, I say, yo, what you mean I'm a publisher? Man say, no, I'm not a publisher. I mean, like that crazy. Like admin good, because back in the idea, you know, the label want 360. Which we need a 360 era again because everybody independent. Everybody have put up them thing, you know what I mean? And it work. Which I'm try infiltrate the system there still, but we keep on going, you know? So, yeah, that's just one of my experience them. So anybody want to info me, have it. We can tell you, I'm there for a minute, is what I say? Yeah, man.
All right, thank you. So is there anybody else in this room that's with Jack Russell Music? Right. So, sir, you can come to the front, please. Yes, you? Yes? Come on. Come on, Marlon. The great Marlon. Putting you on the... And Jaboy? You're not... Come on, Jaboy, you're not getting out of it. So how... Yeah? So what's it been like with Jack Russell Music?
Seamless.
Seamless?
Yes. Been good. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never had any problems with Jack Russell.
How long have you been with Jack Russell?
About 15 years. This bit.
15 years. How long have you been with Jack Russell?
About 10.
Okay. And Miss, how long have you?
Maybe 18. Yes.
Wow. And how have you found Jack Russell Music?
It's just like what Black Sheep said. Hi, good night. My name is Italy. Greetings, everyone. It's nice to see some of the old faces, right? Some great writers in the room, Uncle Sange, Brian, right? Big up on yourself. So listen, Jack Russell deliver way more than what any other publisher deliver. I use Jack Russell for much more than even some processing visas. And I call Claire and I'm like, listen, we need some content, some data. Just let my publishing company do this, do that. And she's there. And as Black Sheep says, anytime, any hour, and once you leave a message, they come back. When I come into London more time, she sets up meeting. I mean, she had me in room with Jacksons and all different kind of people for writers camps. So I've been very exposed by Jack Russells in more ways than one. And Claire, not only that, she's like a sister, because if she hear of something, she comments, say, Aita Wagwan, and we reason about it. So there's the human connection, which you talk about earlier, which is this time, and we have to make sure we keep human connectivity going. So if you're looking for a publishing house, as I said, 18 years and it could possibly be more, Jack Russell's definitely is one of the key ones, and they love the music. Yes, exactly. And she understands the dynamics. Jack Russell, the entire team, understand the dynamics of our music industry. As she explained, most artists in the world, they do not write. We are very unique in terms of artists that write our own materials. So it's broad-based in giving ourselves the coverage that we need. So if you have a publishing house that can break it down for you, explain it to you, don't hesitate. And I can tell you, you get your data at the end of every quarter. Everything come in and you have your breakdown and you're diving it. I mean, there's other time, maybe I shouldn't even talk that one here, but I'll draft the advance from Jack Russell sometime, at least 2 times, and Jack Russell supply. You understand? When big things are going and big things have to be funded. So, and that's personal, but I'm willing to share it with you because why I'm sharing this is the human connection. That's the point I want to make. And we need to have that in this time, right? And it's 20%. Nobody know what E-robot or C-robot. Take it. You don't trust them robots. You understand? Just the connective feel. Jack Russell is a company to...
Thank you so much, beautiful. Want to say anything else, guys? Okay, all right, thank you. So yes, sir.
What's the reach of getting your songs or tunes into movies, into commercials? What's the reach of Jack Russell and that?
Oh, so hold on, I'll go back to this because
Sorry, I came in.
no problem. So I'll just cover this again. So we've done John Lewis, which is a big department store in the UK. We've done New Balance trainers. We've done FIFA, the game. We've done Grand Theft Auto. So we have sync deals coming in and out all of the time. So yes, and we've had. Yeah, we have a sync, guys. So we always have syncs coming in. We've closed many sync deals of recently. You can go on the website that is jackrussellmusic.net and you can see a list of all of our sync deals that we've got for our clients. And sync pays really well. Really, really well.
Just what, in your estimation or your experience, what is the genre in terms of Jamaican? Do they the scale versus?
Oh gosh, yes. Yes. So the new balance, you can watch the ads. We actually have the ads on the website. So if you go on the website, you can see the New Balance one was. Was it a scale? Yeah, I think it was a scale. The New Balance one, yeah.
So the New Balance is more for scale, rocksteady, dancehall, or reggae.
So we've had all.
Which one leads it?
We've had all.
As long as it's got clean.
So no, at the moment there is no leading. We get so many different ones. Literally, Jamaica has a spotlight on the map for all of versions of reggae and dancehall right now.
Because lead instrumentals.
Instrumentals are good.
Instrumental. Yeah, so instrumentals are good, but we've had a lot of sync deal with instrumentals, and we've had sync with actual. So it depends. So each company, so for example, McDonald's will send in their brief to say, we want a spring and summer ad. This is the feeling that we're looking for. This is the genre that we're looking for. And if your song matches that genre, we'll submit it to them. We'll reach out to you and say, listen, McDonald's is interested in using this. Are you okay to go with it? This is the terms and conditions that McDonald's wants, or whatever company. And then we close the deal if we can. And also, we read that contract as well very carefully, because, some sync deals are not as good as they are on paper. So we always make sure that the sync deal is good for our clients. So basically we have a department. So my basically, so my role at Jack Russell is making people run up and down. So when they try to do things out of the way with your works, I'm the one who sends so I'm the one that sends notices to protect you and your rights. I'm not a liar. However, I've had too much, unfortunately. I've seen how people take advantage of people in the industry, and for you not to get taken advantage of with your copy, people using your work, you not get there is so your rhythm or your it goes viral, and you don't make sure that stop. Fight for your right, for your split sometimes, because sometimes you might have split sheet or split, and the song's gone viral and put in dispute about try to fight for your rights too. We do way more than action, more than a publishing company should at times. And as you said, when stuff like that, we've written that for our clients and stuff as well. So we go above and beyond. Yes, sir.
What's the value for the instrumental?
So with the sync deal, so it depends. Some sync deals, some sync deals are thousands, some are hundreds of thousands. So it really depends on the client and what they want. Some clients only want it for 30 seconds. Some clients might want it for the start of a whole TV show or series for the next 6 months. Some people might want it placed at the end of a movie, at the start of the movie. So if it's at the end credits of the movie, it's not going to be the same price as in the middle of the movie. So it really depends on the client and how much they want to pay. And sometimes we also try to push that price up. We also get for cruises, like the Royal Caribbean, they sometimes are looking for artists to sing on the Royal Caribbean, stuff like that. So when we get those information to our clients too, if it's for what they were looking for, so publish we need to do. So I hope we answered those questions. Yes, sir.
If you're going to go through the headache of
Mm-hmm.
what you're managing an independent artist.
Right. Right.
You want to collect your you want to do your own.
Sorry.
Do you think situation different territories and it's really worth it? Doing the whole independent thing, giving an ease over to the
So I'm Jack Russell, not as work-wise. I'm a writer. And I work in the publishing industry, as you see. So that's the answer for you. I wouldn't, because then you're gonna have to out of the worldwide territories yourself, and some of them.
It's a lot of work and a lot of songs I don't but register so much. So it's a lot of work, trust me. Because I'm working.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Miss Clare.
Hi.
I'm Angel Chant. I don't know if you recall. Working with Sharon Malaby. Might have registered together. But I don't know if you remember. If you had a song where the name was spelled incorrectly, like I'm Angel Chanter, but it was registered as Angel Chanter, how can we fix that?
We just re-register it.
The song itself has to be re-registered.
Yeah, but if it's already out there and it's got an ISRC code linking to it and everything, and then you want to change the spelling, you need to keep it as it is, but you need to make sure that you register it with the correct spelling to begin with.
I have that same problem because some people say Mikey General, but some people put Mickey General.
Yeah, you put an AKA. You can create an alternative title and then add that and re-register it. That's what I would do. If you're, because there's there's apostrophes, or there's sometimes on BMI. I don't think they actually put a space, and they don't put the in. Yeah. You just give it an alternative title, add it to the same song, and then re-register it.
If you give them, if they use your input, like Mickey General.
Oh, your name? Yeah, it doesn't matter about your artist name.
And you use my correct IPI number. I still get it?
Yeah, that's fine. Your IPI relates to not your artist name, it's your real birth name that you register. Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes other publishers will put your wrong, especially if you've got a common name like, Mikey T.
It needs to be registered with the real name.
Yeah. You need with a name on your passport. Yeah.
So make sure you're registering the songs with the name on your passport, because I know a lot of people register it as, like, say they would register as, for example, Black Sheep instead of his actual legal name on the passport. So make sure when you're registering your songs, register it with your legal name and not your artist's name in the for the credits. Right. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate it. Please remember to go on the website, and we really appreciate you all for coming. If you have any questions after, we'll be around. So thank you so much. All right. Thank you guys.
Yes, greetings. This is Dreadlocks, the article Dreadlocks of Yaad Radio. So we just had, of course, our music publishing masterclass with the Jack Russell Music Group. Everyone a little bit excited about it. We give thanks for you joining us live on Yaad Radio. Remember, you can support Yaad Radio, PayPal. You can also share the link here to individuals, have them watch it, and just share just the station itself, yeah? Give thanks for your support, everyone. Love and honor to you. Remember, you can PayPal us at paypal.me/iYardRadio. Join us every Saturday, 3 to 7 for a live broadcast of iYard Live, among many other programs here on the Community Online Radio.